Hey people, what's going on? Hope you're well. So definitely if you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. In today's episode, I want to touch upon the autumn budget announcement by the UK Chancellor, which took place. Right, and I want to react to this particular article. So you can see here in the headline, worst fall in UK living standards since records began, says the OBR. Wow. Now that's telling you something big time, right? I know a lot of people are not really prepared for what's to come, but you may have realized over the last few years we've had a number of different situations which have caused a lot of issues in terms of businesses, in terms of health, lockdowns, all this kind of stuff. So all these kind of issues have come together now and impacted the economy. So right now we have this thing called the cost of living crisis, with inflation running particularly wild, and also rates. We're seeing inflation rates higher than ever before. Now, obviously, this is one of those things. It's a mad one, really, and a lot of people are going to be impacted. So let's just go into the article and see what's going on. Okay, so it says here that the UK has fallen into recession, which will last more than a year and push 500,000 people out of work, while households face the biggest fall in living standards since records began. Now, if that's not going to get you a little bit worried, I don't know what will. Well, let's have a look at this. Let's break it down. So, yes, we are aware that the UK is now in recession. I think it's pretty much something that's been coming in many months that have gone by. We've pretty much seen this coming. It's pretty much here now. Here it says probably a recession that lasts more than a year. I reckon, there's potential, my opinion, just saying that it could be way longer. Definitely, if they're saying that the recession is going to last more than a year, so, they predicted a couple of years, but the ramification and the impact could last way more than a decade, right? And one of the main kind of points here is that 500,000 people out of work. What does that mean? It simply means that there's going to be people losing jobs, right? And that should be a cause for concern. Losing jobs, and what happens when you lose a job? You lose your income, right? And you may be entitled to benefits, you may not. These days, it's not a clear-cut line, depending on your particular personal circumstances in the context. So the fact that a lot of people might or will be losing their jobs in the coming months or year or so is something that you need to be aware of, and you need to start planning for. This is why I talk about multiple flows of income and creating income streams, different streams, right? If you look at it, now is the best time ever that you can actually do this. For example, in the last few years, SMMA, so social media marketing agencies, have been quite popular. And nowadays you've got things like, content creator kind of roles that people are doing on the side, side hustles in the evenings, on the weekends, working part-time for another company, or doing it themselves as self-employed, as entrepreneurs. You don't necessarily have to go self-employed or just set your own thing up. You can actually go work for someone. So if you just pop over to websites like Indeed, for example, you'll see loads of part-time jobs and increasingly there are more opportunities too. So you can actually work from the comfort of your own home and also part-time. That's something to look at, really, in terms of building side hustles and building extra income layers, right? So if we take a look further into this particular article, it says the government spending watchdog forecasts a 7% drop in household income over the next 2 years, right? And a dismal decade for growth. I've just spent a few minutes actually discussing that, so you can see really where and how that's going to affect people in the coming years, right? And this is the Office for Budget Responsibility, and they've been talking about it. Okay, so like I said, it's important now that you start thinking about how can you create those extra flows of income so you can start to build your wealth and start to get basically more money in, because you're going to have to deal with increased bills, increased energy costs. So, gas, electricity, especially gas is going up at unprecedented levels. I mean, double, treble what it was a year or two ago. So it is going to affect a lot of households around the country, and not just here in the UK, but also around the world. I mean, inflation, recessions, it's impacting a lot of countries, a lot of populations all over the place, right? So if you look here, it talks about it also marks only the third time since the mid 1950s in which there will be back to back years of falling living standards. The last time was in the aftermath of the global financial crisis, right? So that's just post World War II, right? Living standards falling back to back year after year consecutively. My granddad was in World War II, you get me? So it's it's one of those things that standards are falling below those levels at that time, right? If you look at it in terms of a contextualized view. And also the what's described here as the dismal decade for UK growth. That's telling you something, that there's going to be a prolonged period of instability, low growth, probably low income, not wages won't be going up particularly high, and a recession and a continued recession is going to impact your ability, your spending power, and so on. So it says here that the economy will shrink by 2%, driving up unemployment by more than 500,000. And this will probably be hitting us by second half of 2024, which is only like a year and a half away or so. This is what the OBR have said. And the GDP will only reach its pre-pandemic level by the end of the same year. So this autumn statement is telling you a lot in terms of what's happening. And you've got to plan now. If you haven't been planning before, now's the time to take responsibility. Yes, you take responsibility for yourself, because no one's going to come our space, out of the clouds, drop down and help you out. The only person that's going to help you, guess who it is? It's you, right? Only you can help yourself to, be able to deal with this kind of unforeseen kind of circumstances, the recession and everything that's happening right now, to deal with this inflation. Look, even here it says, whilst household incomes are squeezed, taxes will rise 37.1% of GDP by 2027, 2028, right? 2027. It's like 5 years away. Their highest sustained level since the Second World War. Like I just said, my granddad was in World War II, and it just shows you what's happening with the tax rises on top of a recession, inflation, job losses, and tax burdens. So all of this is going to have a severe impact in terms of living and the cost of living and standards. So you've got to really look into yourself and start to plan, strategize, and build out something. Right. One of the things that I would say is something like, learn a skill. So, for example, you can learn how to be a copywriter, right? So, copywriting can really help you earn extra income. So, you could be a copywriter doing copy for, social media, for advertising agencies, advertisements, writing posts, content, all that kind of stuff. So, copywriting is something that you can really use to actually start to earn an income. I mean, I'm a copywriter. I've been able to earn, 6 figures from copywriting in different contexts, on different platforms, different mediums. So that's something that I would definitely recommend that you look into. And you can check out a basic intro course that I put together to help people just to get their foot into it and start to understand what copywriting is. So the link is in the description, so you can see that for yourself. You can have a quick look and basically see what it's all about, and get an introduction into copywriting and learn how this skill could help you generate extra income, basically. And also, you need a skill. You need to retrain, right? Whether you want to become a website developer, app developer, right? create WordPress, right? Social media marketer, virtual assistant, VA, they call it VA, virtual assistant. Whatever's going to help you earn extra income, my advice is get in there and start doing it, right? Start picking up these skills and invest in yourself, right? I mean, you can never lose when investing in yourself, right? And the best way to do it is, spend £300 and, get a course or learn something, get into a program, and then use those skills to basically develop personal development and also be able to, create a side hustle, right? People pay thousands and thousands of pounds. They get into so much debt to go into higher education or these type of courses, live away for 3 years, waste their money, party all day long, not even going to the lectures, or some of the courses may not be, keeping up with the times in terms of contemporary issues because, like the economy is moving so fast, as you can see in real time yourself. So, by the time a textbook comes out, it's already outdated because something else has happened. So, my advice is invest in yourself and start to pick up and also start to, build those skills. And one of the things you could do is copywriting. So yes, if you are interested, just check out the link in the comments. The link in the description, and you'll be able to see the course that I've put together. It's a basic introduction for those of you that are new to copywriting. Yeah, and of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, this is a free, free content for you to enjoy. So please do subscribe, like, and comment. Let us know what you think. Let us know any side hustles that you're currently doing that might be useful for others, or any kind of opinions you might have in regards to the economy, recession, inflation, money, finance. That's what we're all about. That's what we're trying to do. Because no one taught me that when I was younger, and I suffered because of that, right? Because of that lack of education. And it was self-education that helped me, develop and improve and build. And that's what I want to try and help others with right now. So yeah, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. Check us out on Anchor as well if you want to listen to the audio podcast. Catch up soon.